Good morning, students. Welcome to today's history class on nationalism in India. I am your social science teacher, Bandana Bharati, and I hope you all are fine. Now, children, let us understand the meaning of the term nationalism. There is a word inside of this word. The word is nation. So, what is a nation? Nation is often used the same way we use the word country. So, a country and a nation have the same meaning. So, this is about your country. Nationalism is going to represent pride in a country or being very proud of your country. For example, all of us belong to the country India. So, you can have the idea that your country is the best. It's number one. So, you can formulate laws and policies to ensure that your country stays number one. Nationalism basically means you are very proud of your country, and for your country, if need arises, you are also willing to sacrifice yourself. So now the question arises, when and how did nationalism develop in the minds of the Indian people? We do not know exactly when this happened. So, does that mean that people in India did not have love for their motherland? No, it's not so. Nationalism was an abstract concept. People did not understand this concept. For example, if a person was born in Jhansi, for him or her, their motherland was Jhansi and not the whole of India. So, the question arises, how did nationalism emerge? Nationalism emerged in the process of people's struggle with colonial rule. The people realized that their problems might be different, but there is one common villain in their lives, that is the East India Company or the British government. We have already discussed the various factors responsible for the rise of nationalism in our Class 8 chapter. Today, we are going to focus on the effects of the First World War on India. Meanwhile, the First World War started in the year 1914. India participated in the war on behalf of the British, as Indian leaders hoped that once the war is over, the British government would acknowledge their help and give them some kind of reward. During the First World War, the British imposed war expenditure on India. Income tax was introduced in the country for the first time. Custom duties were raised. Prices of essential goods doubled during the war period. Forced recruitment was made into the British Indian Army. Villagers were forced to join the army. This resulted in dissatisfaction among the people. Crop failures resulted in shortage of food materials. Influenza epidemic spread in many parts of India. Millions of people lost their lives. It was during the course of the First World War that in 1915 Mahatma Gandhi returned back to India. Gandhiji came back to India in 1915 with a powerful method of struggle called Satyagraha. Now let us understand the meaning of the term Satyagraha. Satyagraha literally means holding on to truth. It was a non-violent struggle introduced by Gandhiji in the Indian national movement. Satyagraha persuades the opponent to understand the truth. If the cause was true and if the fight was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. Other methods of satyagraha included hunger strike or holding fast, peaceful demonstrations, hartal, and non-cooperation with the government. Gandhiji started a satyagraha movement for the peasants of Champaran in Bihar in the year 1916. Under the British rule, Indian farmers were forced to grow indigo. Now, children, the question arises, what is indigo? Indigo was a kind of blue dye which was in great demand in Europe at that particular point of time. The East India Company exported indigo to China, UK, and Europe at very high price. But local farmers used to oppose the cultivation of indigo, as indigo needs more water and it makes the land infertile. So there was an agreement between the British planters and Indian cultivators. This agreement was called the Teen Kathia system. According to this agreement, the Indian farmers were forced to grow indigo on 3 by 20th part of their land, and on the rest of the land they could grow whatever they wanted. For this, the British paid farmers very well. So now children, you can ask that why there was a conflict between the peasants and the Britishers. The conflict arose because in the year 1915 the Germans invented an artificial dye which was cheaper than organic indigo dye which was produced in India. So this affected indigo demand in textile market. The Indian dye demand became less, so Britishers reduced the advance payment amount which they gave farmers. So, Indian farmers stopped growing indigo and shifted to cultivation of other crops. The British planters started exploiting the Indian farmers. They were forcing them to grow indigo without any payment for it. The peasants suffered under this system. Local leaders approached Gandhiji to solve the problem of Champaran cultivators. Gandhiji assessed the situation and started signature campaigns. He started a detailed survey of the villagers, accounting their sufferings, atrocities, including their social status, income, family size, land they possess, etc. Gandhiji presented around 4,000 files in front of Champaran's local authority. These files contained the detailed survey and signature of the villagers. So, the government was forced to appoint the Indigo Commission to look into this matter, in which Gandhiji was also a member. According to the Commission's inquiry and final decision, it was decided that the Tinkathia system was abolished and farmers were given compensation also. So the Satyagraha movement started here was a huge success and people had great confidence and trust in Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji started the Kheda Satyagraha in 1917. Kheda is a small district near Ahmedabad, which was a part of Bombay Presidency. Majority farmers here belong to the Patidar community. The Patidars have always been known for their skills in agriculture. In Kheda, tobacco and cotton crops were grown. But there were frequent famines in Kheda, due to which the agrarian economy was destroyed and many farmers became poor. So many of them left farming and became landless laborers. In the year 1917-18, there was an outbreak of plague epidemic, which coincided with drought in which 17,000 people died. In such a situation, government reassessed the data related to Kheda agricultural land and cultivation. On this basis, tax was revised and increased by 23%. Farmers were shocked. Local leaders protested against this. They approached Gandhiji for help. On Gandhiji's advice, Sardar Patel surveyed the land of Kheda and nearby villages, and he sent a petition to suspend the new revenue assessment. Peasants signed the petition in leadership of Sardar Patel. This petition called for the tax to be scrapped. This plea was rejected by the British. So Gandhiji started a non-violent Satyagraha campaign and refused to pay tax to the government. The people responded to Gandhiji's call. The government seized the land and property of the people, but the people of Kheda were peaceful and disciplined. Ultimately, the government agreed to suspend the tax for current year and the next year, and all confiscated land was returned back to the people. Also, the tax, which was increased by 23%, was reduced. Ahmedabad was the second largest city of Bombay Presidency, which was famous for its cotton textile industries. In the year 1917, there was an outbreak of plague in the city. Due to this, many people died. As a result, workers became very less in number. Textile mill owners were worried about reduced labor force. Due to plague, workers were leaving Ahmedabad and going to different places. So, in order to retain the workers, the textile mill owners started giving a bonus to workers called the plague bonus. But in the year 1918, plague ended and textile mill owners stopped paying the bonus. Workers were angry with this and demanded that even if bonus was not given to them, they should be given cost of living allowance and their salaries should be increased by 50% because due to the First World War, prices of all commodities and essential goods had become very high. Mill owners refused to accept this demand and proposed a wage increase of 20%, which was rejected by mill workers. The conflict between workers and textile mill owners continued. Hence, some mill owners started recruiting weavers from Bombay, resulting in further clash with workers. In such a situation, Gandhiji was approached for help. Gandhiji made a comparative study of profits earned by mill owners, compared salaries of workers, impact of inflation, and living conditions, and proposed 35% wage hike for workers. But mill owners refused to accept this demand. So Gandhiji advised the workers to strike. Hence, in March 1918, under the leadership of Gandhiji, there was a strike in cotton mills. As the days passed, many workers became impatient and some went ahead to accept the offer of 20% wage hike as many of them were very, very poor. In such a situation, Gandhiji announced that he will not touch the food until the workers continued the strike, till the settlement is reached. Hunger strike started by Gandhiji was not against the mill owners but against the workers who had no unity and coordination among themselves. This had a tremendous effect on the workers and all of them returned back to strike. Gandhiji's fast made an impact on the minds of the working class and they continued the strike. The mill owners soon realized that if they needed the workers, they had to accept Gandhiji's demand. So they accepted to give 35% wage hike to the workers and thus the Satyagraha movement in Ahmedabad was a huge success. We will discuss about the Rowlatt Act in our next class. For the time being, thank you and take care.